It's 4th of July weekend here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Hey, man. Aren't you one of them IndyCar drivers?
Oui.
Well, this is NASCAR, if you haven't noticed.
Yes, sir.
So, shouldn't you be getting ready for, like, a Grand Prix or something?
It's Grand Prix.
Well, that may be so, but we go 200 miles an hour.
Well, we go 230 miles per hour.
Good for you, but we race for 600 miles.
We turn right.
Well, I drive for the best team in the world.
I drive for the best team in the world.
Team Penske. Hey, guys, are you doing this routine again? Ricky, Bobby, Gene, Gerard? Cut it out. We got to go win some races.
NASCAR and IndyCar in a historic doubleheader. Live from the Brickyard, 4th of July weekend on NBC.
Nice ring.
So the sounds that have made this place famous start this historic weekend. The engines roar to life. So too does this special weekend in IndyCar and NASCAR history.
The GMR Grand Prix at Indianapolis is away. Great start, Will Power. And look at this, Graham Rahal in the blue car. He touched Jack Harvey. That was tight, PT.
Really early start for Will Power. He took off early, got a nice little gap, but it accordions up. Scott Dixon was on the inside, looking to get by Newgarden. They almost touch.
Dixon with a great move up the inside, but that contact with Rahal on the left front with Jack Harvey. I wonder if there's damage to third place Graham Rahal in that baby blue third car. Further back, they're side by side, really dicey through the chicane. You see that day glow yellow Menard's car. Pagenaud he's mixing it up and in an unusual position. Dixon thought about it there. Tried to go up the inside and thought about it twice on Joseph Newgarden in that yellow and white XPEL Chevrolet.
Beautiful start by the field. Everybody gets through the first turn. Now we're down to racing. Townsend, the tire wear has been really bad so far this weekend. These tires have been falling off at about lap 10. So will these guys try to do this on 2 stops with the tires being so bad?
Remember, 2 compounds, the Firestone Blacks and the Firestone Red sidewalls. The red sidewalls are softer. They don't last as long. Up front, Will Power on reds. Harvey, Rahal, Herta, Newgarden, but Scott Dixon opted Marty Snyder to start on the harder black tire.
It is so exciting to be here this weekend and see all of the progress and the changes that Roger Penske made. His idea was to preserve the legacy of this track, but make it even better for fans. So try to make the way that they come in and out of the track better. Try to plant things, make it more beautiful. They used 4,000 gallons of paint on their way to make the new bathrooms, all of the video screens, and behind me here at the pagoda, you can see the gigantic video board. And Roger stopped by yesterday when we were out here checking it out. He wants to have thousands of fans pack this area and never miss a minute of the action. One thing's for sure, he is so ready for those fans to come back here for the 500, Marty.
This is what happened moments ago.
Yeah, he got down into turn 1, locked it up. He did that this morning in the warm-up. Has to take the escape route. Doesn't lose you a ton of time. He really didn't lose any. Just lost 1 position there to Dixon. So lucky break for him that's not a huge penalty. There we go. Flat-out corner. You can see gets loose. Oh! Ooh! Virtually the same accident that Marcus Ericsson had last year.
He started to get wheel spin. He had the correction. He thought he had it. He never really lifted. He kept his foot in it, trying to preserve lap time by not having to do a big lift. So right here, he's a little loose, stays after the throttle, and boom, just way too much of a, didn't do anything wrong other than losing the rear tires, but just a huge correction and just no way to catch the snap as it came back.
Oh, hey guys, Will Power on pit road came in for a stop, and you see him pushing him back to his stall. He stalled the car when he left. What a disastrous day this has been for Will Power, who at this moment has still led the most laps in this race. But what a frustrating second half of the race for Will Power, who lost a ton of track position.
He and his wife Emma and the kids, they grew the family over the past winter with son Kit. They've lived here in Indianapolis for many, many years. And to get a win here, which is something he has never done on the road course, by the way, will be super special. You know, we talk all the time, Paul, about how competitive the IndyCar series is. And don't forget, this is a series where everybody has access to the same chassis, same tires, Two different motors on offer. But Dixon so dominant as this battle is going to go all the way to the line.
Yeah,
Pagano making moves on Rahal.
This is going to be it right here. This is really the last opportunity he's got down this straightaway. Rahal sliding a little bit through the flat-out chicane. Pagano's not close enough right there to really make a move on the brake zone, so it's going to have to happen at the start-finish line.
And Pagano's out of push to pass. 0 seconds left. Graham has 100 seconds.
As he was last year, Townsend. Meanwhile, while those guys scrap it out for second, Scott Dixon is coming around the closing turns. What a beautiful drive. What great strategy. 3 times a runner-up here on the Indy Road Course. Second no more. Scott Dixon wins the GMR Grand Prix at Indianapolis for the first time and makes it 2 wins to start the 2020 season. Pagano from 20th to 3rd, maybe 2nd or maybe not. Graham Rahal in that 5th third bank Honda will get there up onto the speedway, and 3 different teams in the top 3 positions.
Nice try.
Terrific drive from Graham Rahal. That yellow flag really took away what was a likely win for Rahal, but he gathered it back up on the restart to finish second. But for Chip Ganassi and Scott Dixon, utter dominance, 2 races in a row to start this 2020.
The history of the 9 team, is this maybe the best the team has ever performed, Scott?
That's pretty tough to say. You know, this team's had some crazy years, you know, even going back to 2008 with 6 or 7 wins. You know, we've had a good start here, 2 out of 2. But we'll have to see. You know, it's tough competition right now. The series has got huge depth to it. And we'll keep our heads down and keep trucking on. But can't thank everybody enough on the PNC Bank team. You know, they keep giving it a little bit extra. I messed up in qualifying yesterday, but it was nice to rebound like we did.
He did it without airflow to that helmet for much of the race. Scott Dixon guts it out, gets Chip Ganassi a win at Indianapolis, Lee.
Awesome performance. Incredible performance. And we're going to bring you now the moment of the race, courtesy of Children's Miracle Network. And that moment, fellas, was when he got by the 15 of Graham Rahal.
Terrific move and a smooth sail to victory. Now, Graham was on the blacks at this point, Dixon on the reds. Graham didn't really have much choice at that point, but I've got to say, I could argue that Graham Rahal had the drive of the day, because that 2-stop strategy, Paul, was on course for a victory until the yellow. Graham unlucky, but he hung on for a second place. I think that's one of his best drives.
On behalf of the NTT IndyCar Series, welcome to our home track, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Drivers, start your engines.
The white sign with the white backboard right there.
Taking on the road course. Green flags in the air. Chaos could start quickly here. Two and 3 wide as they work through some of these turns.
Real impressed. The whole field was able to get through there pretty cleanly. How long will that patience last before these guys start taking more risks?
A lot of give and take right there at the start of this race. Smart move by all the drivers. I'm like you, though. It won't last long. You see right here, look for the lead. Brandon Jones pushing Jeb Burton right now.
Mike Lynette's fall back a bit. Brandon Jones trying to get to the inside of the gate.
That's going to be tough area trying to pass somebody in there.
That number 7, Klondike on the hood. That's Justin Allgaier, very good on the road courses.
And behind him, Noah Gragson, a pass for the lead right here. Noah, a great start, already up to 3rd, battling for 3rd.
Jeb Burton hanging on to the lead as they come back out onto the front stretch.
All right, Rick, I lose the bet. A clean first lap. I would have lost that bet.
Now a drag race down the front stretch. Cindric with the advantage. He's on the inside of Allgaier. He's going to make the pass. Cindric out.
To see these categories all here on one weekend, you know, there's been a lot about it, you know, a lot of talk about it for the past few years that might happen. Unfortunately, the fans aren't here to witness it, but I can't. It's so exciting to be here. I love watching these cars. The pit stops are crazy. Like ours are, you know, they're gone, but you know, they're just the running around the car is, you know, I love any kind of or form of motor racing, and these series are just so competitive, and I watch them. My wife gets angry at me because I'm always watching these NASCAR races.
Well, you know, this is better.
Cones in the wall. The cones sticking to the fence would be a good indication. There's the first one. There's the second one.
Well, you talk about different circuits. That's a thing. You know, at some of the ovals, the restart zone is very defined for me. Obviously, the drivers knew where they were. I didn't recognize which line it was, but the leader has the opportunity to accelerate first. NASCAR feels the 22 went before the 98, so he'll be penalized.
He's got big problems with. You saw the 20 behind him. He was also very loose following the 19.
Wow. Yeah, so all that discoloring on the tail was from the fire. You see it wrap up around. That's how the air works out from underneath the back of these cars.
Allmendinger's in there as well. And now look at him fan out.
Briscoe to the middle.
5 wide, 6 wide behind him.
Huge move for Briscoe.
Wow.
Right through the middle, outbroke everybody.
All right.
Oh,
right into
back of him.
He's sideways.
Look at Briscoe.
3 wide. Onto the front straightaway.
Allmendinger tries to block for second. They're side by side.
AJ's going to have to run low here.
Briscoe trying to make it 3 wide. Going to outbreak him.
He's committed.
Hard on the brake. He takes the lead away. Here comes the 16 back on the outside.
Oh, he just ran him through the grass. They got Cindric on the outside of him. That was an incredible move. This race is not over, though.
Smoking the right side there was Briscoe.
Allmendinger's not happy with that move. I can promise you.
More contact out of the 22. Here comes the 9. Gregson's trying to move up to second.
22 may have an issue.
22, a lot of damage to the right front.
And he's working that car back and forth, trying to see if he's got all 4 tires up. Oh, the 16 off the track.
He's going to take second away. A.J. Allmendinger falls back to third. Now Justin Haley takes that spot away.
And as this battle rages, the 98 of Briscoe has now a 10-car length lead coming to the white flag.
Well, those 2 guys banging against each other, they obviously have hurt their cars.
Chase Briscoe, we heard he had a buddy that worked here as a security guard. Used to let him sneak into the garage so he could hand out business cards. And now he's racing at Indy. He's out front.
You have absolutely no pressure.
And his spotter tells him he has no pressure. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank.
Do not look in that mirror.
Indiana kid trying to win the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Rick, he told us his first memory of the Brickyard was watching Tony Stewart win the Brickyard 400. Can he repeat another Indiana driver winning at the Brickyard?
Back in second, Noah. Off course there in turn 1, gives up the second spot to Haley.
So Haley now is second, Noah Gregson third, A.J. Allmendinger back in fourth, and a smoking 22 of Austin Cindric is running fifth. There you see the gap between 1 and 2. The biggest fight on the track now for third. What a run for Chase Briscoe. At the start of the year, he said he thought he needed 8 wins to make his way into the highest series of NASCAR, which is the Cup Series. He has 4 wins already, looking for win number 5 today, and it could be one of the biggest. He calls this his home track. The Indiana boy has suffered through highs and lows this season.
Bring it home here.
Bring it home. The words coming through the radio for Chase Briscoe. The first ever running of the Xfinity Series on the road course at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the Indiana boy is going to win it.
time when everybody's expected to work so hard. Here we go. I told you.
Yeah, like
he loves Tony Stewart's win. Now he's won with Tony's crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, and they're going to climb the fence.
Oh, be careful.
Up the fence they go.
He told us if he won, he was climbing that fence. Was not going to keep him off of it.
You just don't see drives like that too often. That was incredible. I thought as soon as AJ and Cindric got in front of him, I thought it was down to those two guys. We thought about that all week long. But, man, he came back and took it away from them. You just do not see things like that happen every day in the sport.
Everybody knows that I grew up, my hero in racing was Tony Stewart, and to get a drive for him, and watch him win the Brickyard, and that was always his signature thing. So, I just wanted to do it. And obviously, it's not the same prestige as winning on the oval, but you still want an Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It doesn't matter if you're racing on the oval, the road course, the dirt track, or even in the parking lot, especially when you win here. And growing up, coming here all the time, it's unbelievable to think I just won here. So, so happy to get highpoint.com in Victory Lane again, and I'm wore out. That fence climb, that'll take a lot out of you.
Chase, most significant win of your career?
Yeah, I mean, from a personal standpoint, the Darlington deal meant a ton just because what I was going through. But, I've dreamed of coming to this racetrack and just getting to race here. So to win here, just unbelievable. I can't put it into words. And to get all of our sponsors in Victory Lane, driving for Stewart Haas at Indianapolis, it doesn't get better than that.